Hello, darlings, and welcome to Wake Up and Show Up Live. I am your host, Portia Scott. This is a daily show giving you a daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing? Hello, hello, hello. It is Tuesday. I still know my days of the week, even though we've been in the house now for, has it been 5 weeks? So how's everybody doing? Hello, hello, hello. You guys know how I love to start the show. Val, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I want to know, where are you watching from? Where are all my friends watching from? Hello, darlings. How are you? Let me know where you are watching from. I am watching from north of Atlanta, not in the city, but north of Atlanta, where the sun is out, it is shining. And as soon as we finish this, your girl is going to lay out on her hammock. So I am super excited about it. So you guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm super excited about today's show. So one of the things that I want to make sure that you never miss a show, that you never miss when we have an episode going live, that you never miss your daily dose of inspiration. And the way that you can do that is that you can text the word wake up to 31996. Wake up to 31996, and we'll send you all that information whenever a podcast is live. Whenever we have a live show, we'll send you some inspiration and encouragement. We always like to provide you with tools so that you not only have the motivation and inspiration, but you have the encouragement, which is inspiration to do. We want you to absolutely execute. Taylor, thank you so much for joining, darling. Hello, Valerie. So tell me where you guys are watching from on Periscope and Twitter. Let me know where you're watching from, as well as YouTube. And one of the things I want to make sure that I do is I want to make sure that I greet our replay viewers. Everybody doesn't watch live, but I appreciate everyone that watches live and the replays. And so even if you watch the replays, let us know how things are going. Let us know your feedback. We love it. On Periscope, you're allowed to give hearts as a way to say, yes, I appreciate what you're saying. I love what you're saying. It's hitting me. One of the things we love to do here, and you guys know how we love to do it, is we want to put hello, darling, whenever I say something, or if it's a guest we have on says something that agrees with you, we always type in hello, darling. And that is our way to say, you know what, I'm connecting with that information. That sounds good to me. You're speaking my lane. This is amazing. It's adding value, whatever it is. So we want to make sure that we are putting that in the comments. One of the last things we love to do is acts of kindness. And so for the first 2 weeks, can you guys believe we've been live for 3 weeks? So the first 2 weeks, what we did was we partnered with organizations that were helping other causes, specifically as it pertained to COVID-19. And so this is us to do for the next couple of weeks is random acts of kindness. What does that look like? Well, you know what? You can call somebody, you can text somebody, you can check up on somebody. It is literally that simple. One of the things I love to tell people, especially business owners or people that have small businesses, or they're trying to build their brand and their companies, is do something for somebody that you could do in your sleep. Do something for somebody that you could do in your sleep, something that doesn't take you a lot of time, but for somebody else, it could be so pivotal in their life, in their business, in their relationships, whatever it is. So Latasha, thank you so much for joining, darling. And it can be so pivotal. So your act of kindness can be whatever you want. If you want to drop somebody a Cash App, hello, somebody. People love cash, but people also love the human touch. And so that is writing an email, sending a text, Marco Polo, whatever that looks like for you, we can do that. And so I am challenging us to do those acts of kindness. I always love to say, you may not be able to feed the 5,000, but you could definitely feed one. And so we are excited about what we can do to impact humanity. That really is the gist of what we do here at Wake Up and Show Up Live on the Wake Up and Show Up podcast, is weaving together life's pivotal moments, the stories behind them, and the ways we show up to impact humanity. And however that looks in your way, that is exactly what we do. So today, I am so excited. If you're enjoying it, make sure that you share the broadcast. Let people know that you're on. Let people know the good news and the stuff that we're talking about here, because I'm super excited about it. If you guys saw it, it said, what is your life's philosophy? We are going to dig into that. We are going to get into that, and it's going to be amazing and exciting. One of the last things, what are you guys grateful for? What are you grateful for today? In the midst of everything and outside of a pandemic, we just have bad days, but I think that there is always something that we can do. And we don't like to call them bad days. We like to call them opportunities, right? And so what are you grateful for today? Let us know in the comments. What are you grateful for on today? You know, one of the things, I think yesterday I talked about how I was grateful for my family, my kids. I was grateful for the laughter of my kids. One of the things that I am grateful for is because last Friday, I celebrated being a full-time entrepreneur. And for me, when I left corporate America, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in this week's podcast, so you don't want to miss that. But for me, what it meant was I needed more time for my family. I wanted more control over my time for my family. And yes, I wanted to get my message and I wanted to go full-time in my business. But I have to say that for me, the thing that kept me grounded and keeps me grounded is that my whole reason was because I wanted to make sure that I was spending more time and had more time around my family. So let me know what it is that you guys are grateful for. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. What are you guys grateful for? And so as we begin today's topic is, what is your life's philosophy? So today we're going to talk a little bit about words, and these are not the words that I talked about the declaration. No, but this is the words that you live by, the words that you stand by. And listen, you may not even know, right? Because sometimes we don't get asked these questions. It's just what we do. One of the things we love to say is that grateful for a spouse who loves me. Absolutely, Val. I love it, love it, love it. I love Raymond. He is so sweet and so kind. And that's so special. So you have a spouse that loves you. I love it. One of the things that I always talk about, whenever we talk about creating cultures, whenever we talk about creating, yesterday we talked about behaviors, and really what that really says to us is, what does that mean to me? What is my culture? How do I navigate? How do I work? What are those words? What is my life's philosophy? And so one of the things that I always love to say is everybody has a life philosophy. Whether or not you're intentional about it, you have one. It is the way you show up. It is the way that people perceive you, to deliver, to be your character. So we all have a life philosophy. We all have words that are connected to us. And some of us are more intentional about that than others, which is why companies, every single company, every single person, every single organization, every church, every ministry, every relationship, not just the husband and wife or partner, it is every single relationship. The relationship that I have with my kids' teachers, the relationship that I have with my friends, my family, my mom, all of that has a culture. And so many we think that culture is only created when it's intentional, but culture can be unintentional because everybody has it. It's the way we interact with each other. It's the way we interact with our products, with our customers, with our families. And so when we talk about life's philosophy or your life philosophy, whether or not you're intentional, it's there. And so we want to make sure, Taylor, thank you so much. Grateful for another day. And so we want to make sure that we are intentional about what that philosophy means to us. And this is why it is so important to have an intentional life philosophy, words that make up who it is that you are and your character. And it is because I make the decisions that are true to me. When we are very clear about our life philosophy, about those words that are attached to us, we make decisions that are true to us. That is the same way in business. In anything that we do, the reason why we're able to navigate and execute and do things over and over in a repeated way is because we are very clear about our life's philosophy, because we make decisions that are true to me. Number two, it keeps me accountable, not just to people, but to me, because that's where it matters, is that I am accountable to me. It's great that I'm accountable to other people, but it's more important that I'm accountable to me, because then I will operate according to that. Number three, it draws in the very thing that I want to see. We teach people how to treat us. The way we teach them is by our actions. The way we treat them is by the culture. Okay, listen to this. All of us, most of us on here live in Georgia, and Chick-fil-A has taught us not only how they're going to treat us, but how we're going to treat them. Because Chick-fil-A shows up in a manner that they're going to have excellent customer service every single time. When we go there, we give them an excellent customer. Yes, crazy people may come into Chick-fil-A, but we give them what they give us. They have established a culture. They have established a philosophy for how they are going to operate, and the customers operate accordingly. I love it. Godfrey said, live, love, laugh, treating others how I want to be treated, grateful for my family, the new mercies provided by the Lord, forgiveness and peace. Love it, love it, love it. And so the way that we do that, right, is that it draws the very thing we want to see. Number four, it determines where I put my energy. Why is that so important? Because now you're not just doing stuff for the sake of doing it, but you are doing it because you are intentional. You are intentional about what you are doing and how you're going to live your life. And so organizations, great organizations with great cultures have figured this out. They figured out that, one, we want to make decisions that are true to us. So we're going to do what it is that our life philosophy calls for. So I actually thought about this because I was on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I want you guys to hear what I said was my life's philosophy from that particular podcast, because it really did prompt this. And I wanted to say, well, I wonder what everybody else's life philosophy is. And so I'm going to let you hear that so that you can hear what is going on in that particular episode. So I'm going to add it now. And let's listen really quickly. It's a brief clip of what my life philosophy is.
I explain my basic life philosophy. I think for me, it would be love God, love myself, and love others. And I think the basis for that really is that if I keep my life in line, kind of in that order, then I'm going to be effective in whatever it is that I do, that I'm going to keep my integrity and my character in place. And so I operate pretty much from that moral compass of loving God, loving myself, and loving others.
So you guys see that is my life's philosophy. My life's philosophy is love God, love myself, and love others. Why? Because that keeps my integrity and my character in line. Those are the most important things to me. That's how I live it. So how do I make my decisions? I make my decisions based upon my philosophy, me loving God, me loving myself, and me loving others, and really serving, and so I make my decisions based upon that. It keeps me accountable to myself and how I'm going to live by that. And so those are my guiding principles. And so I want to tell you, one, when we talked about you make decisions that are true to you. When you have your philosophy, you make decisions that are true to you. So, I've worked for tons and tons and tons of companies, of organizations, and I've had the absolute opportunity to implement projects. And I remember one time I get a phone call and they're like, hey, Portia, we need this, and we need you to say this in order to get what we need. Well, that does not line up with my philosophy. And so in that moment, it was very easy to make a decision that how I'm going to make this decision is going to stay true to me. So how did I do that? Portia, how do you do that in a job where somebody holds that? This is the thing. This is the thing about life philosophy, is that when I made this decision, it was not far off from how I had been showing up at work anyway. I was able to say, I understand that. That is too close to me losing my integrity if I say this. But what I will do is I will say the truth, and then we can go from there. That was it. That was it. I told the truth because it lined up with my philosophy that I'm going to love God. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to love others. And that keeps my integrity. Integrity is so important to me. And so when they said, we need you to say this, we need you to just do this, I can't do that because that messes up my integrity. Elizabeth says, mine is living to please God above all else. Please him first. Absolutely. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining, Liz, darling. Love it. So I want to make sure that my integrity, or that my life philosophy, helps me to make the decisions that are true to me. And that was true to me. And so because that was true to me, it takes me to number 2, which it keeps us accountable, not only to people, but to us. And why do I say that? Because now they know that they can't ask me to do that. Portia's not going to do that. But what they can appreciate is that if she's going to be integral in this area, she's likely going to be integral in every other area that we need from her. So no, she wasn't able to do that. But I do trust her with my clients. I do trust her with this because I know she's going to show up in integrity, because she was able to keep her integrity even in a situation that could have slid by a little bit. But for me, it was too much. It was pushing the line. It was pushing my integrity and my character too far. And so when we talk about it keeps us accountable, it kept me accountable. And does my life philosophy, is it perfect? Does it keep me perfect? Absolutely not. I make decisions. I make bad decisions sometimes. I mess up. But what it does is it is always the barometer for me to make decisions. You know, even some people feel like small decisions, but it's important to me. Does this decision make, stay true to who I am? Does it keep me accountable to myself? And then number 3, I believe it draws the very thing to you that you want to be. We talked about, hi Radic, thank you so much for joining, darling. We talked about how Chick-fil-A is going to show up as Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A does not care what McDonald's is doing, what Burger King is doing, because they have a philosophy. They have a culture, because they know not only how they want to serve their customer, but how they want their customer to respond, to be. And so it determines, it draws the very thing to me. We always talk about the law of reciprocity, which really is you reap what you sow. So if I give out good, I'm going to reap good. If I give out bad, I'm going to reap bad. If I give out my integrity and my character, I believe I'm going to reap those same things, because the very thing that I give out is going to be drawn to us. And so when I know my life's philosophy, then it draws the very thing to me that my life philosophy is. If my life's philosophy is caring for others, I'm going to get that back. If my life's philosophy is to impact others, I'm going to get that back. If my life's philosophy is to go around and hurt others, guess what? I'm going to get that back. And so it's so important that we understand that, because that's what we want. Let me tell you, I had I've been going to Chick-fil-A easy for like half of my life, and I've only had one bad experience. But listen to this. I had one bad experience at Chick-fil-A. I sent an email and they rectified it immediately. But because I was so used to the character of Chick-fil-A that when I had that bad experience, it did not cause me to cancel them. It did not cause me to not go back because I understood what they stood for. I understood that this was a little out of character. So maybe something else was going on. And that is the way that when we're living our lives, that even when we have those days where, you know what, we don't show up all the time as how we have portrayed and how we've been, somebody will say, you know what, it's probably that Elizabeth is just something's going on. So let me talk to her rather than give her maybe the attitude that I had. It's because her character has always been there throughout the years. So if she has a day where she's like super hyper or something's going on, I know that there's more to it. And number 4, it determines where I put my energy. It determines where I put my energy. And so oftentimes when I work for goal, when I do goal executing, or when we're producing a podcast and developing a podcast, or whether I'm doing project management strategies and business execution, this is one of the things that we really, really zero in on is what is important to you. It determines where I put my energy. And based upon my life's philosophy, determines where I put that energy at. What is important to me? What means a lot to me? For me, time with my family was so important. I just said it that like last week, I just celebrated 1 year being a full-time entrepreneur. Has it been easy? No, and you have to listen to this week's podcast on Thursday to find out. It wasn't easy, but you know what was easy was because it was right in line with my life philosophy. So the decisions that I made were in line with that. There were some times that I could have even taken on clients, but you know what? They were not aligned with what I do or what I believe or how I felt this was going to go. And so because I'm so secure in who I am in my life's philosophy, I'm not going to do that. I won't be good in serving you. I will not be able to give you 100%. And that's integrity. Also, I've had people that come and say, can you do this for me? That's out of scope for what I do. And my integrity won't let me say, I'm going to charge you this and deliver 0. And so that's why it's important, because it determines where I put my energy. I am going to put my energy on the things that matter to me. So even in our lives, even in our relationships, even in the things that we take on, does this align with my life's philosophy? Why is it important again? Because we can make decisions that are true to us. Number 2, it keeps us accountable, not only to people, but it keeps us accountable to us. Number 3, it draws the very thing that I am to me. It is the law of reciprocity. And number 4, it determines where I put my energy, If this is good, if this has said something to you, I want you to type in, hello, darling. You know how we do. And so this is what I ask of you. This is your work. If you're saying, Portia, you know what? I never even thought about my life philosophy. I've never even thought about what are those words that I would put to describe me. And these are the words, not your titles, not VP, not pastor, teacher, not mom, daughter, wife, no titles. But what are the guiding words that when you think about how you show up each and every day, I want you to think about 3 words that currently govern your life. And when you think about these 3 words, if you say, you know what, these are actually the words that have been governing my life, but these are not the words that I want to govern my life. So what I want you to do is write another column of 3 words where you want to aspire to be in your life. Can I be absolutely, absolutely honest? Thank you, Elizabeth. Can I be absolutely honest? Integrity, character, they haven't always been guiding principles. They've been there. I've done, okay, yeah, I know to do the right thing. But now, that's my life philosophy. But you know how I got there is thank you, Jesus, is Jesus. and that part, but that's my first philosophy, is that I'm going to love God. So I'm governed by that. That's me. That's how I'm governed. And that's what changes it. That's what changed some of those words. That's what changed some of my life philosophy, is because those words that I was using for myself before, yeah, those were actually true, but I wanted my life to be governed a certain way. And so I ask you, write down those 3 words that currently govern your life. And if you don't like those words, you can change them. And you write down those 3 words that you would like to aspire to. And you know what we always say, the power of one. Take one of those words and keep moving in that direction. So what you do is you take that word and you make sure that the decisions that you make on a daily basis line up with that. And it'd be small decisions. Maybe patience is going to be a word that you're going to say, you know what, patience. Or if this takes me out of my space, my peaceful space, I want peace. And so the next time you have the opportunity to maybe jump or say something out of peace, you go back to that word and you say, this is going to determine the decision that I make. This is going to keep me accountable. This word is going to keep me accountable to who I am. And I am going to start to draw that thing. So if it's peace, I'm going to start drawing peace. Peace is going to start coming to me because people know I'm going to give them peace. I'm going to get that peace right back. And then it determines where I'm going to put my energy. If this is so bad or it's not bad, but we've been taught that saying no is bad. But if saying no to you gives me a yes, then I have to say no to you because peace is what I need. For me, saying no is integral because it's saying yes to my life philosophy if it's not lining up, or if I can't help you in that area, or if I won't show up the best of me just to give you a yes. And so that's what I wanted to talk about, our life philosophy. I absolutely love this. Thank you guys so much for commenting. Thank you guys for coming on. And just so that you guys are remembering, why is it important that we understand our life's philosophies? 1, it helps us make the decisions that are true to us. Number 2, it keeps us accountable, not only to people, but to us. Number 3, it draws the very thing to us. And number 4, it determines where I put my energy. You guys, thank you so much for joining. You guys are always amazing. And we have another show in the books. Can you guys believe that we have been doing this for 3 weeks? We have been doing this for 3 weeks, that you guys have been coming on the Wake Up and Show Up live. And I'm super duper excited about it. I don't want you guys to forget that we do have a podcast. So while you're at home and while you're working or while you're cleaning up the house, you can always go to the Wake Up and Show Up podcast, which is on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Everywhere where you get your podcast, we are there. And we always want to stay in touch. And so you can text the word wake up to 31996. That is wake up to 31996 so that we can stay in touch with you. Thank you guys so much for your comments and everything. So as always, we end every single show with this declaration. Waking up is automatic. Showing up is intentional. Today, I will show up. I will see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Take care.
Yeah.